In the annals of criminal history, a few notorious figures have captured the collective imagination in ways that defy explanation. Today, we delve into the chilling world of historical criminal profiles, focusing on two enigmatic individuals whose identities remain shrouded in mystery: Jack the Ripper and the Zodiac Killer. These aren't just tales of crime, but complex puzzles that have fascinated criminologists, historians, and the public alike for generations. Let's begin our journey in the murky streets of Victorian London. The year is 1888, and the city is enveloped in a fog both literal and metaphorical. The East End neighborhood of Whitechapel, already a place of poverty and despair, becomes ground zero for a series of gruesome murders that will haunt the city forever. The perpetrator? An unknown figure who comes to be known as Jack the Ripper. His victims are primarily women of the night, and the brutality with which they're slain suggests a savage yet methodical mind. What sets Jack the Ripper apart is not merely the heinousness of his crimes, but the audacity with which he taunts the authorities. Letters purportedly from the Ripper, signed in a macabre flourish, only deepen the paranoia gripping the city. Despite a police force desperate for answers and the burgeoning field of forensic science, the Ripper remains beyond the grasp of justice. His identity is never uncovered, and theories abound to this day, ranging from plausible suspects to fantastical conjectures involving members of the royal family. Fast forward to the late 1960s in the United States, and we encounter a different breed of terror. In the sunny, sprawling suburbs of Northern California, a killer emerges who will soon be dubbed the Zodiac, a name he chooses for himself, reminiscent of both mystery and cosmic cruelty. His modus operandi is chillingly calculated. He targets young couples, often in secluded areas, and with a cold precision, he ends their lives. What makes the Zodiac Killer particularly unnerving is his penchant for communication. Like Jack the Ripper, he writes letters, this time to newspapers, laden with cryptic symbols and coded messages, challenging the public and law enforcement to solve his puzzles. Despite the collective efforts of detectives, amateur sleuths, and cryptographers, many of these ciphers remain unsolved, preserving the enigma of his identity. Remarkably, both Jack the Ripper and the Zodiac Killer have evaded definitive capture, though the landscape in which they operated was separated by both time and technological advancement. In Jack's era, fingerprinting and forensic techniques were in their infancy, while the Zodiac had the benefit of a society enthralled yet frustrated by evolving forensic sciences and media scrutiny. In both cases, however, their crimes have left a remarkable cultural impact. Numerous books, films, and even video games have emerged, each offering new theories and interpretations of these dark figures. One might ask, what draws us so deeply to these unsolved mysteries? Perhaps it is the allure of the unknown, the challenge of piecing together historical clues, or the chilling thrill that such elusive criminals provide. Their stories serve as grim reminders of the darker side of human nature. Yet they also highlight our relentless pursuit of truth and justice, even when the solutions seem forever out of reach. In conclusion, the tales of Jack the Ripper and the Zodiac Killer are not just stories of crime, but reflections of the societies in which they occurred. They illustrate the limitations and aspirations of law enforcement, the pervasive power of fear, and the enduring human urge to solve the unsolvable. As we continue to probe these mysterious cases, we must balance our fascination with a respectful remembrance of their victims, those who remind us that behind each story of crime lies a real loss. These figures, forever shadowy and hauntingly unsolved, remain etched in the collective consciousness, inviting us to peer into the depths of historic darkness and perhaps to glimpse our own.